Hey everybody, I'm Keith. This is Sports Vibes, and in this video today, I'm going to be discussing Jamal Adams and the New York Jets fiasco, or lover's quarrel, as some may say. Rich Cimini just dropped an article, and Jamal Adams is really giving it to his head coach, Adam Gase. I mean, there were whispers that, Adams and some other players on the Jets weren't too fond of Gase, which wouldn't be surprising seeing the history he had back in Miami. He really didn't have a good rapport with a lot of those players down there as well. So I'm not shocked that Adams kind of, threw some jabs at him. Well, I would say haymakers. He kind of really lit him up in this article. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the article, and then at the end of the article, I'm going to kind of give you my opinions, because as a Giants fan, some of the things I'm seeing with the Jets, I feel like we were there before, I'll get into it later, but let me get started. Here in the article from Rich Cimini, he starts, trying to force a trade, New York Jets safety Jamal Adams continues to criticize leaders of the organization, directing his latest salvo at coach Adam Gase. And these are quotes, mind you. I don't feel like he's the right leader for this organization to reach the promised land, Adams told the New York Daily News in an interview that was published Friday. As a leader, what really bothers me is that he doesn't have a relationship with everybody in the building. On Wednesday, Adams attacked owner Woody Johnson on Twitter in response to a CNN report alleging that Johnson made racist and sexist remarks while serving overseas in his role as the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom. Adams, who is seeking a new contract, requested a trade last month because he is not happy with the progress in negotiations, ESPN reported. The Jets haven't granted him permission to seek a trade, and their position hasn't changed. They don't want to trade him, sources said. General Manager Joe Douglas has said he is always willing to listen to offers, and his all-pro safety apparently is trying to use what little leverage he has to force a trade. ESPN got to clean that up. Adams still has 2 years remaining on his rookie contract. He is due to make a total of $3.6 million this year and $9.9 million in 2021. Adams told the newspaper he will report to training camp next week, squashing rumors of a potential holdout. Truth is, the organization never expected him to skip camp because of the severe penalties under the collective bargaining agreement, a $40,000 per day fine and no credit for an accrued season. The safety never said anything critical about Gase during the season. On January 29th, Adams tweeted, "I want to be in New York." His mood changed as contract talks dragged on. The Jets have frustrated Adams with what he perceives as a lack of communication. ESPN previously reported. Adams confirmed this with critical comments in the Daily News interview. At the end of the day, Gase doesn't address the team, Adams told the newspaper. If there's a problem in the locker room, he lets another coach address the team. If we're playing and we're losing, he doesn't address the entire team as a group at halftime. He'll walk out of the locker room and let another coach handle it. In a recent interview, Gase said of his relationship with Adams, "We've always gotten along well, and there's been a lot of dialogue between us about on and off the field type topics." Adams has used social media to complain about his contract situation, criticize the organization. On Wednesday, he lashed out at Johnson, tweeting, "We need the right people at the top. Wrong is wrong." Johnson has denied making any insensitive comments about race or gender. Johnson accepted the diplomatic post in 2017, shortly after Adams was drafted by the Jets, and relinquished day-to-day control of the team to his younger brother Christopher, the CEO. So that was a lot there. The crazy part to me is, as a Giants fan, this is like the Odell Beckham Jr. situation on steroids. Luckily for us, it never really got to this point where OBJ kind of forced our hand. But, at this point, I don't know how Adams can stay on the team. He's disrespected the coach. He's kind of disrespected the owner. That's two heads of the organization right there. You've already disrespected. So how is he going to be accepted back into the locker room, not only by his teammates, but also by the coaching staff? And you can tell by what he's talking about, a big issue with the Jets is the way that their hierarchy is set up. Adam Gase coaches the offense, and that's basically all he does. He coaches the offense. And then you have Greg Williams, who coaches the defense. So when Jamal Adams says, if we're playing like trash, he doesn't address the team, it seems like to me he's saying he doesn't address the defense. He lets Greg Williams talk to the defense. He goes into his little corner and he talks with his, offensive, players. And that's really been a big issue when it comes to the Jets. I've listened to a lot of other people who've had opinions on the way that the Jets have set up, and they said it's not really normal. It's not conducive for winning. And it seems like Adams here is using that as his mantra to try to force his trade. And it's just weird. It's like the Jets and the Giants are competing with each other to see which can be the most dysfunctional football franchise in New York. And they're kind of just mirroring each other. Oh, the Giants had OBJ. The Jets now have Jamal Adams. The Giants currently still have Gettleman. The Jets, they had McCagnon. The Jets decided that they were going to hire their GM and coach separately instead of hiring them, during the same hiring period. And the Giants just did the same thing. We kept Gettleman and then we just brought on a new coach. And if the Giants don't do good, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to fire Gettleman and then we're going to have to bring in a new GM. It's just, like I said before, it's not conducive to winning. And as a fan of these franchises, you must be frustrated because it just seems like no matter what they do, they can't get it right. We drafted Saquon Barkley, yes, but we drafted him at number 2. But it'll be interesting to see where this Jamal Adams situation goes. I'll keep my eyes and ears out, and if I hear any more news, I'll make sure I'll drop another video and get it to you as quickly as possible. So once again, this is Keese, Sports Vibes. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure if you have any other comments, you can just leave them down and I'll make sure I reply. All right, peace.